Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Dalton, Arms and Farms, Footlong Farming YouTube channel. Hectic morning. It's already 9 o'clock. We are flushing today. Let's go. Jack's gonna take the heifer up, but he takes my truck because my truck's got a fifth wheel in it. Got the kids loaded down in the bed, or in the back seat rather. Millions and millions of kids. But I'll talk to Jack. I'm not sure what bull we're using or what heifer we're even flushing. I will get that information and pass it on. For now, I am headed to hook up the trailer, put fuel in this thing. I already greased the fifth wheel ball, and yeah, that's how we're gonna get our morning rolling. Like I said, it's a hectic morning. I think it'll slow down soon. It's just when we have to be up there by like 9:30, you mix that in with feeding cows and doing the morning chores and taking kids to school and all of that jazz. It makes for a hectic morning, but we're gonna get hooked on. Dodge sits about 3-4 inches higher than the Chevy apparently, so crank it up. Oh, that's gotta be welded sometime. I was unaware that was broken. Oh, that's less than a big deal. Oh, she can use a little bit of grease too. Jeez, old trailer's getting a little neglected these days. Hooked on. Tow mirrors out. Stacks on stacks. Roll coal. Cummins power. Literally any of you understand that reference. There was this stupid animated video when I was in high school, basically picking on Cummins drivers. Stacks on stacks. I drive a Cummins. Cummins is a superior motor. It was hilarious. You guys should try to find it. It's top 5 videos of all time. All right, well, Tyler and I now are up in our old barn where we got all of our weaned calves here. Looking for any sick ones, any ones that are coughing. You can see we got paint on their backs. When the weather goes from 70 to 18 with a wind chill of 0, back to 50, back to 30, just like humans, it's hard to keep them healthy. So we go through and we treat them. We're giving them Enroflex under the skin, so it's a subcutaneous injection. Just even this heifer right here, you can kind of see her ears are a little bit low. Just looks a little bit off. We'll probably give her something. While we're up here though, look at this unit. This black calf here is out of my cow, Cleveland. She's a hammerhead, so her dam is third generation Holstein out of a Jersey, so I don't know what that would be. Third generation cross, so she's a 4th generation cross, but absolute unit. As you can see, just as big as the Holsteins. Her dam, Cleveland, was just given, I don't know what it was, like 120, 130 pounds last test. I can look that up to get an exact number, but absolute unit. Pretty proud of this little lady. Still needs to get a little friendlier though, but yep, so that's what we're doing. We're just gonna go around and treat all these calves here. All right, calves are treated. We are up here sorting out dry cows. Tyler's gonna let some around. This is a nice little Perfect heifer here that's getting ready to calve. I've liked them so far. Hey. He's up there, he's letting some around, so they kind of got spooked back towards me. But I commented when we walked in the barn, I said, holy smokes, we only got 5 on the pack. That's the least we've had on the pack in a long time. And there's like 10 that we're putting in there now, so right back to it, I suppose. Thinned her out a little bit. Now I'm gonna push them towards them. Got the ones I need marked with purple paint on their back. It's a nice little Jarvis cow. She had a smoke in the udder as a 2-year-old. This will be her 2nd lactation. Come on, ladies. Come on, sweetheart. Up in we go. There we go. Come on now. All right, there was one more that I wanted to get, but I didn't see her out there, so we're gonna go double check, see if we can find her. Good looking group of cows. Real good looking group of cows. That one's really napping up there. There you are, you little nugget. You were hiding from me, weren't you? Big old ox. Come on now. Sometimes it's hard to tell because sometimes cows like this, they just don't bag up till they calve. I mean, she's doing 3 days. She's not bagged up at all, but we'll get her in because she's due. One thing I haven't had to do in a long time is when I get here in the morning, I find a calf out here in the barn. That's one of my least favorite things to do ever. You want to start my day off bad, that's how you do it. We haven't had to do that in a while, so kind of like to keep that trend going. Well, it's snowing out, but it looks like the town's sick and tired of waiting for springtime too. They got their road sweeper out here, sweeping off all of the dirt and the mud like they do in the springtime. They must just be flat out sick of it too. Talk about seasonal depression. I think everyone around here has got that. It does look nice though. This was all like sand on the sides of the road. You don't notice until they sweep. Nice, good deal. I'll give the towns around here one thing. They do a really good job of keeping the sides of the roads trimmed back. And I mean, you can see, I mean, how nice they do. And it's like that year round. So as you can see, also, I'm back in my truck. We're headed home for lunch now. Jack got back. Our heifer, it's one that we haven't IVF'd before. She was a Thorson. We IVF'd her to the Mikan bull. It's the same bull. We've had really good luck with him the last few flushes, and the luck continues. We got 29 oocytes today, so that's pretty good. We will take that all day, every day, and we've had pretty good conception on it too. Todd told me before, I think we were the last flush when we put the embryos in, I think he said we were at 60% or something of the fresh embryos, and the ones that were frozen, I think he told me we were at 50%. Almost certain those were the numbers that he told me. So I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. So I hope that continues, but gonna head home, gotta clean up the house a little bit. Today, shout out, is my wife's birthday. Just turned 21. Kidding. Looks 21. 21 at heart. So yeah, I'm gonna clean up the house. We're having some people over for dinner tonight. Grilling steaks, Grill Master. Gonna have to put the New Balances on. Grilling steaks for her birthday, that's what she wanted. She said I make really good steaks, so it's a compliment I will take every time. Neighbors are out hammering down again with all their tanks. There's one back there. There's one right there. So they've got 3 tanks. I don't know if you can see the one going back there. And you can tell this is the field. I taped them last night and they had just started this thing. So you could really tell how much ground they're able to cover with all their trucks. And here comes another truck down the road. Down the road now. So that's getting right after it. We could probably be moving manure. But there's no real rush for us at the moment. Trying to get some of this other stuff done. I am curious, Uncle Todd did ask me about 3 hours ago what I thought about blowing some nitrogen on some of this triticale because the ground's very marginal. We don't have floaters for our sprayer. And I said, well, there's the one field. The trouble is a lot of our triticale ground this year is actually some of our wetter ground. We got it done. We got the corn off of it earlier because the wetter fields were dry, so we said, let's go get those done before they get wet. And then it was like, well, they're chopped. Let's drill them and put triticale on them. And we've been really spoiled the last 4 or 5 years. Our springs have been very dry. So we're kind of getting back into having to deal with wet ground. But he's up giving it a shot. I said, what's the worst? You know, there's one dip in it that's always wet. I said, if you make tracks in there, so be it. I'll just lift the skid shoes up on the merger when we're harvesting it and go for it. But what we're going to gain by getting nitrogen on that triticale is going to far outweigh making tracks. Now, I don't know about some of the other fields. Like I said, some of the other fields are really wet and you're going to be leaving tracks everywhere you go. So I don't know, but I'm curious to talk to him later on and see what the conditions were like up there, because that would be a really big hell yeah if he was able to get that done. I think he's getting ready to head on vacation next week too. So, and even so, it's supposed to rain, I think, most of next week. So I don't think he would be able to spray next week, even if he was home. And by the following week, I mean, you're talking about knocking on May's door. We're usually harvesting that stuff by May 15th. Like, we need to be getting the stuff on, but what are you going to do? So I'm curious to see, because even if he was able to get that field done, it's something. It's better than nothing. And if it went really good, maybe he'll go try something else. I don't know. So we did talk about maybe having Crockers down there in Pavilion got the, I don't know, what do you call them, Terrexes or whatever. Terrex? Terragator. They got some of those with the really big floater tires. I said, well, we could always have them go in and blow some, you know, dry fertilizer on or something like that. I don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to figure that out, because we need every ton of feed that we can get. And it's kind of just been a tough spring. So, yeah, we're going to roll with it. But I'm going to run home, have some lunch, tidy up a little bit. Maybe we'll season the steaks now so they're real nice for supper. Maybe we'll do that. But, yep, stand by, see what we do after lunch. All right, I came down here to the bunk quick. I got to get the size tires off of this Bobcat. This is our newest one. Primarily just runs our defacer, but the tires on it are pretty well shot. And once we get into spring work, this skid steer does a lot of rock picking. We pretty much always have someone running, and you don't want ball tires onto that. So once he's done defacing here, I'm going to go ahead and we'll get the size of those tires. You can see the only downfall to defacing with a skid steer, we cannot reach all the way to the top. So we reach as high as we can, and then we just kind of flick that down with the loader, and it works out. What we usually do is we flick that stuff down with the loader and feed that to heifers, just because it's on the top. There's not much spoilage or anything on the majority of the pile, but it's still, being on the top, it's good to feed it to the heifers. So yeah, we'll go over here, see if I can get these size tires without getting my head cut off. See if I can get these to my truck without losing the one on the front. That thing's only half on the forks. This beats the heck out of busting your back getting them lifted up though. So these are the tires that came on that machine. Bobcat rubber, I don't know. Must be very soft. We've only got just shy of 500 hours on this set of tires, which is absolute trash. I'll show you guys the other brand we got. They're on all of our other skid loaders. They're more of a bar, like square tread, square blocks rather than the bars. And we average about 1,000 hours a set on those. And 400 a tire, you got to get what you can get out of these things. And certainly not less than half of what we usually get. So we're taking these out, putting that other style on. All right, we are back at the farm now. Just got stuff unloaded. Dropped those skid steer tires off in town. I stopped at the vet clinic, got vet supplies. Picked up four, I don't know if you guys can see them, 4 used tires for our cattle trailer truck. They're pretty much on cables, and that truck carries a lot of weight around. But the truck also could go at any time, 250,000 miles, rusty, stuff like that. So got to put tires on it. Can't just run them with no tires. But probably don't want to spend, $1,600 to get new tires for it. So there's a scrap yard about a mile down the road. Always has used tires. These are, I think he said 60%, and they were less than a quarter of the price. So picked them up too. Right now, so that gate that we fixed, those gates in the center of the barn, we leveled them off. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before. I showed you guys in the video. It might have been yesterday. I don't know if a cow tried to go over it today or if someone hit it with something. Everyone's pleading the fifth. Probably a cow. I don't know. Thursdays and Fridays are always a little tougher because all the cows that we give shots come into heat and they get to push it and shove it. Anyways, it's not unlevel, but they got the clamps on it tweaked so that the gate doesn't, when you need to open them, it doesn't go straight against the other gate like it's supposed to. So I'm going to get the impact and a wrench. I'm also going to get the grinder and new bolts. Those bolts sometimes are so rusty, they're a real pain to get off. So sometimes it's easier just to cut the bolts off, put new ones on. So we're probably going to try that. Well, I got that fixed down there. I can show you guys what I was talking about. So our gate hinges are these bolt-on style. We used to have the weld-on ones, but the problem was if they got backed into something, then you had a welding project. Where with these bolt-on ones, you can just grab them and go. But the problem is, if those bolts rust out or get loose or anything like that, they'll spin on that pipe. Then the gates don't line up. Why is this so zoomed in? Then the gates won't line up right. Or, they're hanging down or they're hanging up or anything like that. So what I did is I just cut those bolts off, put new bolts on, and yeah, it's good to go. Back to the shop. We're gonna finish the day out cleaning here, I think. How's your supper? Huh? How's your supper? It's a nice doctor cow. I really like our doctors. All right, we're gonna call it a day. As you can see, we've been cleaning the shop. I'm covered in dust. We've been doing that a lot, just cleaning and tidying up and trying to organize stuff and we each make our own little toolboxes before spring. Like I generally run our speed tiller disc, and I help Bob with the corn planter. Bob, being grandpa, does all the corn planting. So I kind of try to get, make sure that tractor's got a full set of metric wrenches in it, because everything in the corn planter's metric. Pliers, orifice pliers, spare orifices, spare stuff like that. The speed tiller has been relatively problem-free as far as pretty much carry a big hammer on you in case you get a rock stuck, which really only happens like twice a year. Other than that, you don't really need much for that. But I did make a tool bag for the merger, just spare teeth, spare roller bearings, spare tying bar clamps. I put a 3/8 ratchet with a 3/8 socket and a 7/16 socket and a 3/4 wrench for skid bars, stripper plates, stuff like that. So it's kind of what we've been spending our afternoon doing. Grandpa did call from Florida wondering if we were out in the fields, and I told him, hey, It's 37. It's raining. It was snowing. It's been raining all day. Update on Todd spraying fertilizer. He did say the lower half of the field he marked out. So, yeah, it's just not looking good as far as getting that stuff on. So, it is what it is. But anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching. Views are always appreciated. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Rock on, guys.